Hi guys, this is just a quick video showing you how the Equinox DJ booth overhead kit works. When I was looking to purchase this in the very beginning, I could see that there was hardly any videos on the internet regarding this, and there's a lot of questions being asked on the forums. How does it fit? Is it stable? So I just thought I'd make a quick video of my own. This is the Equinox version. There is a Gorilla version as well. I'm not quite sure what the differences are with the Gorilla version to this. The booths themselves are the same, I believe. This will be used on a Gorilla stand booth, which is the cheaper of the two, but I don't think there's any difference in build quality between this one and the Equinox one. So we're opening up the bag, and we've got the two top pieces of truss. We've got 4 of these clamps. They are metal clamps, they're not plastic. There are plastic tops on the screws. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And we've got 3 sets of bars, each one slightly different. Okay, what I'm going to do first is open up one of the clamps and show you how it attaches onto the booth. Right, I've opened up one of the clamps, pop it on the outside. A bit difficult to do with a phone in your hand as well, trying to record it. But you can see how it goes on, so I'm going to pause this while I just clamp that on in place. Right, that's one. I'm just going to pop on another one a little bit further up, and the other 2 on the other side. Right, I've got the 4 clamps on now. I've got one there, one a little bit further up, and across the other side. You can tighten them up, they are quite solid. We'll have to loosen them off in just a sec to put the poles in. What I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to use the truss in. I'm going to put the truss in overhead on. So I'm just going to fit these 2 pieces together. It's just basically undoing 2 screws. There's like a male and a female end, and then just tighten back up. So I'm going to do that first. Right, top bar is now together. It's just over 2.5 meters long, I think, altogether. And it's got 2 fittings underneath. It's just hollow basically, where that's going to sit on the uprights that I'm going to pop onto the frame now. Now there's 3 different types of upright. The first one, it's got a flat bottom with a little thumb screw. The top of the thumb screws are plastic. They're not very strong. If I'm completely honest, when mine was delivered, 2 of the thumb screws were actually damaged, and I had to wait for them to be replaced. The next one is almost the same size. It's kind of got a male end on it, and there's another extension piece as well, a little bit shorter, again with these little plastic thumb screws on. Now to use the booth, what I'm going to do originally is not use the two extensions. You can make it larger if you want to, so I'm going to pop them to one side. I'm just going to pop the male and female bars together with the flat bottom ends. Basically undo the thumb screw, drop it down, tighten it up. That's quite tall, I'd say that's just over 2 meters on its own. And then I'm going to attach this to the frame by loosening these clamps slightly and just dropping it in there. Since fitting that last one, unless you've got a really high ceiling, it's probably easier to put it together once you've actually got the main piece in. So you're going to slide that down. Put that in the bottom. Tighten that up. Same as side. Grab the other piece. Drop the middle bit in. Tighten the thumb screw. And you've got your uprights on ready for your truss to go on top. Obviously if you want it to go a little bit higher, you do have the extension bars as well. Now the truss itself is just going to sit on top of these. Into these hollow bits at the bottom. So I'm just going to drop the truss on now. Right, pull it down. Make sure it's down all the way. There we go. And then just tighten it up. Oops, wrong way. And that's basically it. That is the truss on there. What I will say is the supplied nuts and bolts for you to hang a light on are quite thin. So I would recommend using some proper clamps, or if you really must use these, to get some big washers underneath them. So that is the truss. It's quite strong. Obviously it is a budget product. Don't expect to hang a massive amount of lighting off it or a massive amount of weight. I think it's rated at about 45 kilos evenly spread, but for the majority it should be fine. Right, I'm going to take the truss off, and now I'm going to change it so we can use just the uprights on their own with a light on the top. Right, the truss is off. What I'm going to show you now is how to use just the two uprights on their own. Well, first of all, I'm going to take the top one off. I'm going to unscrew that. take that out. I'm going to loosen these clamps. I'm just going to slide that out. What I'm going to do now, the piece that I used for the top last time, I'm going to use as the bottom because I'm going to use the male part of it. So I'm going to slide this back in. Tighten it up. Right, so we've got the male piece now sticking out of the top. What I'm going to use are the small extension bars that I didn't use earlier. I'm going to pop that on top. Slide that down, tighten it up. Going to do the same with the other side as well. Lift that out. Pop the other one back in. It's quite fiddly with one hand, sorry. Just going to put the phone down a sec. Right, tighten that one. There you go, again we got the male bit on the top. Just going to go back, get the extension bar. Just pop that on the top. And tighten that up. Now this is what I'm currently using with mine. I'm going to get my old Ultimax top castings and I'm going to use them on this top piece. So I'm going to pop this down and just grab my top castings. Right, so this is what we've got. This is quite an old one. Just a standard Ultimax upright top casting. Just fits right on top. Tighten it up all the way. There we are. And that's solid. So you can just any light you want without having the overhead. Just screw a light straight onto the top of that. You can just use one. You can put one on the other side as well. Quite simple. Mostly all I use now, to be honest, is 2 lights on the booth and maybe a bit of uplighting behind me. So that's it. I hope this helps. Let me know if it does or if it doesn't. Thank you.